Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Open Mic UK. Today, sorry, but our co-host Susie is busy with an event that she has planned for a while now, but she'll be joining us next time, along with a great guest, actually. But before we get there, I just want to thank Spirit Cafe for being our sponsor. Yes, we have to do the dance. The Spirit Cafe. They agreed to be the sponsor for Open Mic and Open Mic UK. So I'm your host, Ramzi and Cathy. I'm a psychic medium. And today my co-host, Cathy Pratt. Cathy.
Hi, Ramzi.
Hello.
I need to come up with some names of what I am. I need to
Yes, you're. What are you? I always tell you you're a
I'm
spirit.
an artist. I read
Spirit.
cards. I'm an oracle. I read the world, right? I read plants and animals and birds and rocks. I don't know. What would you call that?
Everything. That's almost everything. But we'll come up with a name for you.
Okay.
A title that comes up on the show every time. So we're gonna put it on. Hola, Kaylee. Good afternoon. Excited for the chat. Same here. Oh, look, you're an artist, reader, oracle, or as Tana say, you do stuff which which covers everything.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. First, I would like just to present to you our next guest, who is, I'm going to share his site. He's Paul Bannister. He's a psychic medium from the UK. He's actually phenomenal. And I really, and I'll put another two readies in there, enjoyed a session with him a week ago. He's phenomenal. He's been in the business for over 20 years, being an evidential medium. And if you want to check him out, he's on, let me put it down there. Where is he? He is Paul Bannister medium.co.uk. So, guys, he's going to be on, but it's not going to be on a Thursday. It's going to be on a Wednesday. Once I set up the time with him, we will post it. It's going to be the same thing, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard, 7 p.m. UK time. But unfortunately, on Thursday at that time, he has a show on, I think it's called PSP, Psychic Medium TV or something like that. I don't recall. But you'll find him over here next time. So if anybody wants to connect with Cathy, that's her email, not her email address, her website, her sacredimage.com. We also Susie, who is not with us today, but I'm sure she's in spirit and routing for us at wakeuplittlesusie.com. And please, if you're watching our show, do connect with us by liking our what do you call it? What is that? Liking our page. I totally on YouTube.
The YouTube page?
Yes, the YouTube page. And again,
or subscribe, right?
Subscribe. Yeah. Like is for Facebook.
Yeah.
So what do we have for today? I'm having actually, for some reason, a little issue going live on Instagram. You are live, it says, but I don't see it. For some reason, it's just not. I don't know. It will come up eventually, I think. So, Cathy, what do we have for today? Today is an open conversation. Just relax and enjoy life, and let's chat. And if you have any question, whoever's listening to us today, please don't be shy. Post your questions. We are available to take any and all your questions. So Go ahead. Let's start.
I have a million questions.
Oh God.
So the first thing you said, Paul Bannister is an evidential medium. Tell me about that.
Evidential medium is a person who sees, like, Susie and I, we took courses together. This is where you bring evidence about the spirit that you're talking to.
Mm-hmm.
For example, when we were doing readings for each other, and I got to see Susie's dad, so I kind of describe how he looks. If I can see hair, I'll put the hair in, height, build, and so on. So you gather as much information as possible to prove to the sitter that the spirit is their relative, their past
Mm-hmm.
relative. And sometimes it doesn't come easy, as in, oh yeah, he's a 6 foot, skinny guy, built guy, whatever it is. It comes differently, because one time I was in UK, and I was in London, and I found out that there's a little chapel or church that was hosting an evidential medium. And I go, my God, I've never been to one of these. So I ran there and I sat in the crowd. And he would sit there. He was standing after the sermon, and he would go, "Oh, I see this. In this side of the room, I think it's for you, lady. For example, I see a lady. She's tall, she's short, and so on." And he starts to describe her. While he was doing all of that, I was seeing somebody that is, well built. He took off his shirt. He was showing me his upper body, that he's strong and stuff. And I go, "What is this happening in this church?" So, anyways, and then he shows me the farm, and so on and so forth. And I go, "Oh my God, this is for to the medium."
Oh, geez.
So after he finished giving readings and stuff, so I approached him. I said, "By the way, I believe you have a grandfather in spirit." He goes, "Yes." I said, "He's well built," and he literally took off his shirt to show me his upper body. He goes, "Yes, he was so strong that they would used to say that nothing kills him." And then he's showing me that I am tough, and so it comes in a different way sometimes. Like, it doesn't say, "Oh, I'm strong." So in the images that I used to get is somebody that is strong. So I have to see his upper body built, well built, so to say that he's strong. Yeah, exactly. So images comes in different ways, and sometimes they come with what do you call it, names, or a letter of the name. So it depends. It depends. When I was working with Paul, he would say, "Oh, and they're telling me there is an Anthony, and there is a Michael, and there is this. You have connections to London." I go, "Yeah, I have this," and then he goes, "Oh, and I see the US, and I see this, and I see this." I said, "Stop looking, because we're United Nations. I have people everywhere in the world." He goes, "Oh, that makes sense." So they give him different cues or impressions to say, "Yes, this is me."
So it's just being able to uh, to know in the real world that what you saw or heard. Is it like when we did blind vision? Ramzi and Susie helped in a class with another group, and we did an exercise that we called blind vision, and they looked up historical figures, real people from the past, and what you guys numbered them, so you knew which one was a certain number, and then you held it up, and then those of us in the group that wanted to play this game, we tried to see what we could find. And I remember I can't remember her name, but it was a woman who was they took her to the beach, and they buried her in the sand, and they put a giant rock on her. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
and we all sort of had different pieces of that. And for me, it was like at the top of the stand, it was so wet and cold, and I couldn't breathe because it was so heavy. This thing on me was so heavy. So is that evidence? Is
Yes,
that,
yes, yeah,
yeah,
that's evidence. And if you recall, during the same event that we were doing, I picked what's her name, Joan of Arc.
yeah, oh yeah,
I was doing it with Susie, and I go. So I described the lady, and I wasn't sure who she is, but then we said, okay, it's a Joan of Arc, and I said she's wearing, and I remember it clearly. She's wearing this dress, and it has these colors in them, and you have the picture. When you're ready, you'll find it. Send it to, and she sends it to me after half an hour or so. When she found it, it was the identical one. That's the type of, yes.
yeah, and that happens all different ways.
Yeah. Does the strength of the entity on the other side affect what they can send? Pictures, names versus. Okay. It's a yes or no answer. Answer. So it's a bit confusing. There are two factors to the images that we get. One is the medium, and two is the spirit. So if the spirit is not strong, like you're saying, and I don't know how to explain that, but sometimes they come, if their personality was not strong in real life, sometimes they come mellow in the spirit world, and things might not be as easy or simple to pick up on. While if they were strong in real life, they actually come in with a strength when they're in spirit. I was not channeling. I was reading with one of the spirits who made people like literally feel sick while he was alive.
Mm.
While I was reading, passing messages from him. I got to a point where I wanted to throw up, and I didn't know what was happening. I go, I just can't take it anymore. It's overbearing. I want to throw up, and I was told that that's how people used to feel while he was there.
Wow.
So I had to push the spirit out so that I don't get personally affected.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept getting messages, but pushing them. So yes, there is the spirit that is strong or weak, and there's also the medium that is experienced or not. An experienced medium will be able to pull out images quicker. Unexperienced medium might not be able to do that. It might take longer.
Mm-hmm.
So that, I hope that answers the question. There's another, like, would an ancestor have less ability to send detail than, say, a spirit guide or an archangel? Listen, spirit guide and arc makes sense. Thank you. Okay, you're welcome. I just want to answer your previous question, which is spirit guides and archangels are with you all the time. The spirit guides are what do you call it? Their vibration is strong, and you can feel them yourself. If you just center yourself, you can feel them. So they're always there. Archangels, they come with a bang. Their vibration is much higher. I feel I get cold when they're around. I literally freeze, and I have to put on the jacket sometimes. And ancestors, they yeah, true. And ancestors, they don't have less ability per se, but it depends on the character of the person before they pass into the spirit. Like I was mentioning, some have stronger characters, some have weaker characters. So it comes in softer, and if you're not paying attention well, you might miss a cue or an impression. So that's how it works.
So you talked about guides. Does everyone have a guide, but everyone isn't aware of the guides? Do you feel like we all have people that are
Okay.
standing by?
We do have people standing by.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say we have an army of people standing by, but that's not true for everyone. So what happens is that if you connect with your spirit guides on a regular basis,
Yeah.
you can feel them. They give you hints on what to do, what's good for you. Not what to do per se, or go to the right. No, it's just what's good for you. It comes in different ways. For example, a thought that is like it comes in out of nowhere and you weren't expecting it, a feeling not to turn left, stuff like that. They're always around. Now, I can talk about myself. In my case, I have a spirit guide that is around, and he gave me his name at one point in time. I have a second spirit guide who's a philosopher, and I know his French because the image that I saw was a man, and there's the Eiffel Tower behind him.
Mm.
I know my dad is a guide also as part of the team, and I'm sure there are more than that because every time I do a certain thing, a different feeling comes through.
Mm-hmm.
So there could be a guide that might help me today during this show, and might not be around when I'm doing something else. So it all depends.
Yeah. You taught us in one of our in the Spirit Cafe to connect with our guides. It seems like when I usually go in, I say go in because I'm talking about a cave. That's where I go in my mind. I'm really visual. And whatever I'm trying to do, the people that I need are there. Like they've assembled for me. And so if I'm trying to conceive of a piece of art to convey an idea, then I have people for that. Or if it's, something about a family relationships, then different people will be there. So it's kind of like a council, and certain people step up depending on what the day needs, what I'm looking for.
Yeah. And we're gonna be giving a 5-class series on connecting with your spirit guide. You and I, Cathy. I didn't tell you, maybe, but
I'm in.
Sometimes in September.
Great.
So August, September, it's gonna be out. I most probably will put it up on the spiritcafe.ca. It's a class that we will be added to the actual Spirit Cafe that we have running at the moment.
Delicious.
Yeah.
So do you find? I think that it's kind of like friends, where you have all different levels of friendships. You have the friends that you can call once every 3 years, and everything's great. But then you have a handful of people maybe that know your day to day. I feel like if I stay in touch with one or two guides, then they're there whenever.
Yes.
That channel just stays more open.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, that shifts right into animals, because it seems like I have more animals present even than what I would say are humans, or whatever, spirit humans, octopus, big cats, that kind of thing, that are always there if I pay attention. So talk to me about familiars.
Familiars, you mean our spirit inspirer?
Okay.
So they are...
Is it different?
No. Spirit inspirer, and to me, the familiars are the spirit inspirer, which are the guardian angels or your guardians, or with different society has different names for them. If you're from a religious background, you have the angels protecting you all the time. If you're non-religious, you understand that there's what do you call it, other spirits that are there with you at all time. So it depends on how you define it, but they're always there. Like in your case, when you talk to spirit animals, there's a guide with you that helps you connect with the animals.
Okay.
And maybe it is someone that what do you call it, uh, that was an animal lover before
Mm-hmm.
and really connects to animals and wanna continue the work afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it comes into play as a guide to help out people connecting with animals.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And animals do have spirits. I know there are certain what do you call it, certain psychics don't believe that animals have a spirit. So when they die, they die. Animals have spirits and they live along with us. Okay. And I was getting a reading a long, long time ago from a psychic, and she goes, "Oh, you had a dog. He's right over here." And I could hear my dog bark.
Mm.
I got goosebumps and I felt him. I literally felt my dog around me when she
Mm-hmm.
was talking about him.
Yeah.
So yes, animals do have spirits, and they live with us, and they live with us in the other. Well, we never die. We just like transition. They transition into the other side too. Basically, they take off their clothes and they move on to the other side.
Have you ever gotten the sense that a creature became a person?
Actually, no,
No.
no. A creature became a person. I know in certain Eastern philosophies that as you raise your vibration, you move from one place to another.
Mm. Like the caste sort of hierarchy.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So once your consciousness reaches a certain level, then that's a human consciousness and you can reincarnate as a human being. But I've never felt or heard stories about that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think about that a lot. Maybe just because I think about animals a lot. Um, and they have big personalities the same way people do.
Oh, they do. They do.
So I sort of have a sense that they that we can come and go, and wouldn't it be fun to come back as a bird or a cat, just see what it's like?
I don't think we can, because we're
No.
our consciousness is stronger than that.
Mm.
Our stronger, yes, because our consciousness is stronger than that, and we should not go backwards. And I use should, which is not correct, but we wouldn't go backwards. We actually move forward in the evolution process. So
So you feel like humans are more evolved than
on a
the
conscious level, see a consciousness. This is really you brought me into a place where I don't want to be.
then let's
Consciousness.
go somewhere else. We have plenty to talk about.
No, but consciousness evolves with time through human experience, through animal experiences, through plant experiences. So all these experiences raises consciousness, raises the awareness of consciousness of itself. But humans are the highest form whereby consciousness can find itself at the end of the day.
Okay. Hmm.
That's my philosophy. So,
Okay.
yeah.
That's good. That's good. Food for thought for sure. I don't have it all parsed out, but
Listen, at the end of the day, these are based on our experiences, the things that we've seen ourselves in this world and the next, I say this world, in this realm, in the other realm, and other people seeing different realms and bringing different, what do you call it? Not ideas, but experiences that they've dealt with into this realm. And then we all look at it from our own human perspective,
yeah.
because my experiences during this life might, um, I can't say twist, but shift the view or the understanding of what came in.
Hmm. Hmm.
So mine will, I'll see it in a different perspective, and then somebody else will see it in a totally different perspective. But it doesn't mean that I'm right and they're wrong. Of course, I'm always right, but
There's
everybody
that.
whispered that from me.
um, a couple spirit cafes ago, maybe it was in Spirit Cafe. You talked about uncontrolled channeling.
Oh yes, that's when uh, when I first started doing these things. That was crazy times. I'll be sitting, and all of a sudden I transport into a different place, and
You're totally awake. You're doing your day. You're
yeah, I would just sit on the couch because I go, no, 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 I have to just close my eyes, and I'm totally trust, but I feel it coming. I feel it coming, and I move into a different dimension.
Mhm.
After multiple transportation, if you want to call it, into different dimensions, and one of them was actually, I think I was in Mesopotamia,
Yeah.
the old Iraq. So
Yeah.
I was there, and I saw the castle, and I saw everything and everything that is around, and there are other times with different places. But there was one place that I visited, and I was talking about it during the cafe. Is that I was flying around with wings. I had wings. Here is I knew that yes, I can usually hear them coming. I get really bad nausea. Ramzi has witnessed this. Yes, uh, and my jaw will get tight, tongue super. Yeah. So her experience in that, yeah, to be transported anywhere. Her experience is different than my experience, but the experience is the same. We just feel something is coming, and then we just move out. We move
Mhm.
out to somewhere else.
Mhm.
And what my experience is, I was flying with wings, and then there was this. It was black in color, flying person right next to me,
Mhm.
which we confirmed it was Lucifer from one of the from Freddy. She was, yeah,
Ready.
that was yes, that was Lucifer. So he was flying right next to me, and at a certain point, we started like uh, fighting for some reason. I don't know. I do not know why, but it was handfist, and I push him down, and he goes down, rolling. He turns into a ball, a black ball, and he rolls on the ground. And at the end, there's Archangel Michael with a sword in his hand. The sword
Mm.
is, he's
Mm.
holding it with both hands, but it's on the floor. And the ball comes close to him. He raises the sword and he stabs the black ball, and the ball turns into a white light.
Mhm.
And from there, we went to another place, and he goes, "Would you be the bearer of light I can't remember the question how it was asked. It was asked multiple times, and I said yes, and I actually got knighted with the sword. And I'm like experiencing all of this as if I am standing there with Archangel Michael, and all of this was happening. It was all real. You can never convince me that was fake. It was all real. From that point, he takes me to another place where there's like a border. There's darkness on the other side, and the light is on this side. And he goes,
Mm,
"That's your border. You do
mm,
not cross
mm,
beyond that."
mm.
And then I came back. I had to write it down. I go, "Oh my God, I'm going to forget." I did not forget. It is imprinted in my mind. It's as real as us talking to each other right now.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And from there, of course, the mediumship started to grow. And I was working with Tanis at that time. So this whole thing, and it was COVID time to top it off. It was beautiful. You can't go
Perfect.
anywhere. You're stuck at home. So all you have to do is just like, let me transport it somewhere else,
All
and it's
right.
fine.
All right. So
Like, okay,
is
Lee, right
that why
now.
you was it uncontrolled experience why you started this?
Why did I start it?
Yeah.
I did not start it. It just started on its own.
Yeah.
And Kaylee also had the same thing. It started on its own, and she does not have control over it. But in my case, I believe that I reached a certain vibrational level that transportation maybe is not required for me.
Yeah.
So my focus is more on communicating with spirit, psychic ability expanded. I can help people help people with the ability that I got. Oh, I can try and ignore it, but they can be pushy sometimes. I'm not sure you can control it. It was really uncontrollable. You can try, but when they want to do something, they want to do something. And I'll tell you another example of that. I was walking down the street when I felt a message coming. I felt it coming right over here. I go, really? I'm in the middle of the street. What do you want me to do? Like, I can't. Could you just stop for now until I get to some? And it wasn't going. So here I am standing in the middle of the street, not on the street, on a sidewalk, and I have to close my eyes for 2 seconds to get the message that it is in order for me to try. And this is uncontrollable transportation, but it was minor. It was a small, not
Yeah.
like a full-fledged movie. But I don't think I have control over it. I hope, Kayla, you do. I don't. And then it's just like when it comes, and it's just like I have to let go.
Well, like Susie says too, you can ask for space, um, and say stop when you need, I guess.
Mhm.
Just like you would with a group of people that were hounding you for whatever reason. Maybe. So do you find it to be physically taxing or energizing? How does it affect you?
I actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
I do enjoy it.
It feels really good. It feels healthy.
There's, I don't know, when you go into the spirit world or when you work with the spirit world, there's this connection that I find, I would say fulfilling, but also energizing. And I enjoy that.
Yeah.
I enjoy that.
Well,
No.
you also get to see the positive effects that your work has on people.
Oh, a lot, a lot.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
big
not
when
right now. No, thank you. Oh, that's a good way. But mine weren't gonna stop. It's like, no, I'm gonna pass this message and I want it now.
mm,
But I think my new guide, Ramsey, is going to be a gatekeeper of sorts Oh yeah, gatekeeper of what? It's exhausting for me in the sense that it takes a lot of my body, but I still fight the process. Okay, and I think okay, no, don't worry about the misspelling my name. It gets spelled with SAY, ZI. They're all good. Don't worry about the spelling. The first thing that came to mind while I was reading this says it's exhausting for me. I think it's exhausting because you haven't surrendered 100% to the process yet.
Mm.
There's part of you that want to be in control, and the process has all the controls. That's how I feel. And I feel that I cannot tell it what to do. It's just it guides me to where it wants to go, and I just surrender to it. Of course, if I'm driving, I won't surrender to it. I'll have to stop on the side of the road, but other than that, it's yes, that's it. Exactly, yes.
Mm.
Because when you resist it, it will drain you a bit.
I have a sense, and I say this to people about art too. Everybody's an artist. Do you feel like everybody can do this, right?
Yeah.
It takes practice. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it just happens, but everybody's able to. Are there kinds of people that it comes more easily to? I mean, if you know you're an empath in the world, then of course. But I
I
mean,
was
look
an
at you.
empath
You're
from a
like a
long time, but I didn't know what to do with it, and I didn't know what I have.
yeah.
I had a disability. That's
Oh.
what I had.
Mm.
I don't like people. I don't like crowded spaces. I just don't like a lot of things. But I did not know what was happening.
You hadn't switched it into your superpower yet.
No, I didn't know what it was. I
Yeah.
had no idea. And of course, I'm not like this generation where they can easily Google it and find it.
Right.
My time, you had to go into a library and find out books and to
Go
figure
through
out
the
how they were. And yes, exactly.
and hide
So
the book.
yeah, so I didn't have access to information in order to be able to know what I'm dealing with. All I knew is that I just don't like people. I just want to stay away from a lot of things, churches and large events, nightclubs.
Mm.
I can't. I could not. Even till today, I don't go to nightclubs. Never been into a nightclub unless I was forced to. But other than that, no. I just my energy can't handle it. And what I also found is that if I'm sitting in a gathering and there's like people that are unauthentic,
Yeah.
I get edgy.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure why, but now I know. Now I know what is happening. I can see, feel people around me, so it's easier to control my, of course, my emotions and the pain that comes with it. Because being an empath is not a walk in the park. I
No.
think my friend guide is going to help me with that because I struggle. Okay, that is good. You trust is the key to this whole thing. To mediumship in general, trust is the key. Some have a calling to it more than others. I think, like I've been told, I have a contract. Okay. Calling, I'm not sure about the word calling. Some of us come to this world um, not carrying uh, burdens with us, so we're more liberated and have a higher vibration and can connect easily. And others come in with a lot of pain, and you had to clear that pain to get yourself to this point. So some will happen easily, faster. Others, they have to shed the pain that they have break certain things that they're going through, and then be able to connect. So is it a calling? I'm not sure it's a calling per se. You can use it whichever way you like. Mothers, all mothers across this globe are psychic. Okay, all of them, because they can feel their children across the globe no matter what. Okay, and then they tell you, oh, psychic mediumship, oh God, but the reality is they're more connected than anybody else. So so we all have it.
Yeah.
We all have it. All we need to do is just like ground ourselves, be present. Some people would like to continue with it, others don't. It's just a profession. It's a profession that you choose if you want to be in it or not. And I know that you, for example, with your art, you express spirits things in a different form, what comes in art.
Yeah.
I talk about it, you just draw it. I can't draw.
Yeah. I talk about it too. But it's to, I guess the art is to express the feeling, or I'm sort of on a mission to more normalize this, because once I
Yes.
realized that my anxiety in the world was because I was holding it off. Like you're saying, I don't take me to the grocery, don't go, I mean, places where people aren't even acting like themselves, which you just made me realize, going to a place where people are drinking and, sort of putting on their best other face. That's the
Mhm.
worst. But when we normalize this and we understand that we're getting clues from our body all the time,
Mhm.
about what we should be doing and what we enjoy doing, I don't know. I wish that it was more normal. I think people would be more in their bodies, more at ease.
Unfortunately, but let me just say, I guess that's what I was saying is mediumship or channeling, like everyone can do art, but not everyone wants to do it or is good at it. True. You choose that. You choose if you want to become an artist or you want a writer or you just want to talk about it. Sorry, I lost the chain. You were saying
Well, that's what happens when we have conversations like this.
yes.
We're over here.
And then I jump different places, and then I forget. And I have this. I've been having this lately. Is that I feel that I'm not grounded enough because I just jump into things now. Before I used to focus on one thing, and now it's like, oh, I need my phone, and then I'm pulling tissue paper and moving it around and dusting for some reason, and then doing something else, and then oh yes, the phone.
But see, for me, I think in my life, that is a lack of all this fear that I used to have. I was so hyper diligent about every single, am I going to be on time? Am I going to have a car crash? What am I forgetting? And now I'm just like, it's okay. Everything's okay. And so I had the appointment earlier today, and
Yeah.
I ended up late for you because I didn't parse it out completely. I couldn't have changed it, but like, it was okay. And it is okay. But it's a different way to do life.
It's true. True. It is okay, but it's a different way to do life. Yes.
And you can get distracted because you're relaxed.
Yes. But the thing is normalizing it. That's the whole key of this whole discussion, is that normalizing it. And unfortunately, society has created certain restriction and built walls around what is norm and what is not normal. Okay, morality to me personally is a line in the sand, so that whoever sits on one side can criticize the person that is sitting on the other.
Mm,
Okay,
mm,
it's a line in the sand, and we keep on moving it back and forth the way we want.
yeah.
Morality doesn't exist. There's a human decency that exists, and we all as humans, we have it innate in us. It's not something that we need a book or a legislation to tell us what we're supposed to do. It's us. So with all these restrictions that happen throughout the ages, the burning of the witches and so on and so forth, everybody retreated from that.
Yeah.
Okay, even Nostradamus, he put it in a book that nobody could say, oh well, he's a psychic, or he channeled these things. So he himself even had to hide it
Mm.
until now, where we're starting to break those shackles of society, or those walls that we built around us start to fall, and now we're coming out.
And if you look at history, what we're doing in the courses with Janet is, this little patriarchal blip that we've had.
Mm.
When you start going beyond that, people live this way all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They had to follow their inner compass, and know where to go and who to trust, and when was it time to move. All that is listening and paying attention to the signals around you, connecting with other people. And I mean, that's gone on for 30,000 years, and we think that this last 2,000 years is the way it should be, but
Yeah,
we need to like jump back over it and remember. We're just remembering.
exactly. We're remembering.
Yeah.
The good thing about it is that, don't look at it as a whatever excuse that we give it not to use it. Look at it as a tool that we can use it on a daily basis. For example, other than the mothers and the children's and the connection that they have to protect their offsprings, I was at a store in Mexico. I was in Mexico last week. I was at a store. I forgot my cables. Of course, I forgot my cables. So I went to buy a cable, sealed box. It's called iShop over there, which they're resellers of Apple product, because Apple is not in South America. So there's an iShop that does that. So I picked it up, I paid for it, and I was still holding the box. I said, please test it for me. Never in my life said test it for me. I knew that it's something is not right with it. So we took it, they took me to the place, they plugged it in the wall, tried it on one phone, second phone, three phones, wasn't working, different plug, different thing. Then they call the manager plugs it into his phone, tries different things. He goes, no, get another box. They opened up the second box, plugged it in. It's working. Here's your new cable.
Bravo.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's beautiful. But be in flow with everything around you. Not judge it. Don't box it. And things just like, they just move. Like the information that is flowing is just, I find it amazing because there's no effort. It's an effortless world afterward.
Mm-hmm. 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 And the wrong cord is not the end of the world, but you saved yourself going home, the phone's still dead, going back, finding another guy, finding the receipt, all the crazy stuff.
I try to tell that to a Mexican worker who
Right.
barely speaks English, and you're gonna say, "Oh, well, this cable didn't work," and he's gonna say, "Well, have fun."
Too bad for you, buddy.
Yeah. You took it out of the store, and now there's a cable. I don't know if it's mine.
Yeah. Right.
So I love it. It just flows.
Yeah.
It flows. I go, okay, beautiful. Let's go.
Yeah. Nice. So you said about the moms and the kids, that all the moms are psychic. Uh, does that explain why there aren't, in our groups of 40 to 80 people, there's literally one or two men. That's it.
Yeah, that's another discussion that requires 5 hours of talking.
Like but the famous, the famous psychics and mediums, they're men.
Yeah.
And this doesn't seem like a particularly feminine thing, does it? It's
No.
just doing life.
When it first started, you would hear, "Oh, it's a feminine thing. It's a feminine because it's only women that do that. Men are supposed to go to work and provide to the family." As time changed, where men and women joined the workforce, women continued being connected to their roots, but men are still blocked from who they are. They don't even know who they are. Once you break that and connect to the spirit within you, that's when you realize, oh, okay. So that's why when I see more of men doing energy healing,
Mm-hmm.
so not that many,
Mm-mm.
but it happened that the group that I joined had equal men and women that do energy healing.
Nice.
Yeah. And another group that I joined is more women and two men. I was like nothing. I was talking at the Therapeutic Touch Network of Quebec 2 weeks ago. There's only one guy. So I was gonna start cheering and
Yeah, yeah, and everybody claps, and we're so
yeah. And it's more socially acceptable for women to talk about intuitive stuff, emotions. Yes. So, but men are starting to feel the burden of not being connected. Okay. And slowly, slowly, as that happens, two outcomes will come from that. One, they'll even close up even more to control their pain and harm themselves, or they're going to open up and join the rest of being connected to the world. But that's what it is. It's connected. So I have men in our group who is considering starting a men's group to do just this, open it up, make it. Yeah, this is beautiful. And I start to see more and more, but what I noticed from my connections with the Facebook is that they're trying to get men's club. We should be there, and so, but it went a bit differently on masculinity. I can't even pronounce that word, but we shouldn't be looking at that. People should be who they are, the way they are, okay, and just remove all the social construct that was built around the character that who you call you, so that the real you could shine out of it. And once the real you shines out, that's it.
yeah.
That's it. You're fully connected. You're there 100%. It's just bloody beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Bloody beautiful. Oh,
Yes. Bloody me.
it's true. Do you, because you are so accomplished in what you do now, do you still have like the two worlds, the the sensing feeling world and then the business world, or have you, I mean, I'm getting to the point where they're pretty woven together.
They're pretty woven together. Yes. There are a lot of time I notice where my mind goes into a business sense.
Yeah.
It's like 1 plus 1 has to equal 2, and I'm not sure why this is not adding up.
Yeah.
And there's times where my mind goes, look at your life. You didn't control any of it. What are you trying to do? 1 + 1 could be equal to 10. Who cares? Just drop it. And when I do that, it's just, it flows. And then, of course, you have to get the business sense into whatever you're doing, which is fine. But allowing your intuition to guide you through what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because if you take what you're doing from a heart-centered, it's different than taking what you're doing from a mind-centered and you have
Mhm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, we have to do this, we have to do this, we have to do this. Oh my God, my Instagram didn't go live for at the first minute. Like, the world should end, and I have to put processes and procedures and make sure everybody follows them to. It becomes extremely painful, not required. Okay, so we didn't make it. We made it half an hour late on the Instagram, but I went live on Instagram at the end of the day. And we'll make it better next time to make sure that it goes live from the beginning. And that's it. There's nothing to change or do or, yeah.
And we have to be able to function in the real world. We need to be on time
Yeah.
sometimes, and also I think showing up as a very happy person
Yeah.
in the real world is maybe that's our form of activism. Maybe that's the thing we can do right now.
Yeah.
Sprinkle it around out there a little bit.
We have to, and I think we're doing a great job with the Spirit Cafe, how we're presenting it, without being, oh my God, this is evidential mediumship class. You walk in, there's ta 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 ta.
No pressure.
Here's a booklet. There's no booklet. There's no booklet. Just allow it to flow. Follow simple procedure. Meditate at the beginning of it. Let things flow. You read, you don't read. That's not a problem. Just whatever you can see, and we move it forward. And that's it. It's simple.
Safe space, playing games,
getting
to know each other.
Yeah.
Watching people have revelations is so fun.
And Cathy, you can't believe what just happened. We're at 57 minutes. We're close to the hour. I have to end this conversation. My God, time flies.
Time flies.
Time flies when we're having fun over here. Time flies. Yep. Really, I enjoy our open mics. Today, we say goodnight to the UK. Tomorrow, we're for North America, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard with Tanis. And of course, Carly's got to be on because she was our our guest last week. Not last week, 2 weeks ago. We do it every 2 weeks. And before I leave, I just want to once more have a shout out to Paul. Paul is a psychic medium in the UK. For all the listeners in the UK, you can find him on let me see, where's the banner for him? Because I'll forget it. paulbannistermedium.co.uk. He's really awesome. Please do check him out. And for our listeners,
so he's here. Wait, we're here every 2 weeks.
Yes.
Thursdays at 2 Eastern, but Paul is here in 2 weeks, but on Wednesday.
But on Wednesday, yes. It's not going to be a Thursday. It's going to be a Wednesday show. Once I confirm it, I'll put it out, and we'll what do you call it? We'll announce it to everybody.
And what about our next Spirit Cafe?
Next Spirit Cafe is on June 1st at 2 p.m. Please, if you feel drawn to join the club, really, it is a club. We're having fun in there. Please, you can find us at spiritcafe.ca. No prerequisite is required at any point.
You can be brand new, right? You can come for the first time and still have fun.
Yes.
You haven't missed anything.
Nope. And also, like we mentioned, we're going to have the Meet Your Spirit Inspire coming up. And Cathy's going to have another also event that's happening on the Spirit Cafe. I'll keep it as a surprise till next time when she has it ready. And on that note, I thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Kaylee, and wishing you all a wonderful evening. On that note, good night.